thank you very much, my birthday helpers. Now everyone else, start making your way into the room because yes, this is the one, the only Great Hall of Hogwarts. Now this is one of the first sets ever constructed for the films, and as you make your way into the room, I'm sure you'll notice it is also one of our biggest. We could fit over 400 members of cast and crew in here at once, or if we wanted to, 22 double-decker buses. So we can definitely fit all of you in here today, so please make your way all the way into the room. Now this set stood on the working studio side about 500 metres off to your left for more than 10 years before it was brought over here piece by precious piece for the tour. And as you enter the room, you'll notice that the lights above us are low, the tables are dressed, and the fires are burning, kind of. And this is what we call in the film industry a hot set, which means everything here is ready for filming. So feel free to get out your cameras and go Colin Creedy crazy. Take as many photos as you like. And maybe try taking a few without the flash on, because it's lovely lighting over us to make sure every single photo looks amazing. Excellent. Well, I know you've only been in here for a few short moments, but I'm sure you've already started to notice some of the amazing details which you didn't see on screen. For example, on that front and back wall there, you might be able to see the murals which were painted up there. And these were done nearly 17 years ago during the first film's production, so unfortunately, they have begun to fade away under these hot studio lights. But if you go back to the Philosopher's Stone, that very first film, you'll see them bright as day on those walls there. Now back in the centre of the room here, above our fireplace, we've got our Hogwarts crest. However, if you look into the fireplace itself, you will see that there is a second crest hidden away. And you might not see this in the films because there was always a real roaring fire in front to cover it up. Now, the most eagle-eyed of you in the room may have noticed something here is missing. If you cast your eyes upwards, you'll notice that we do not have the ceiling in here. And that's because the Great Hall ceiling was, of course, enchanted. And it'd be a little bit tricky to get the clouds, the stars, the night sky in here for real life. So this was all magically added using computers and a ceiling model, which you'll see in just a few minutes. Now, while the ceiling isn't real, the floor definitely is. So if you jump up and down, maybe stamp your feet, you will feel that that is real stone that you would find in a real castle up and down the country. And this is very unusual for a film set. All of the walls around us, for example, are actually made of plaster. Well, they do look pretty much like stone, but as soon as you exit the Great Hall, you'll be able to see exactly what they are made of. But for the floor, they knew it was going to have to endure a lot of wear and tear. So using real stone was the best way to make it last. And it has survived some of the biggest scenes in the film series. For example, the very first time we see this room during our sorting ceremony. So that brings me to the houses of Hogwarts. And I know deep down, everyone has a favourite Hogwarts house. So don't be shy. When you hear yours, I want you to cheer as loud as you can. So let's start with Hufflepuff. Oh my goodness, that's a good turnout for Hufflepuff. It's usually just the one person. But no, this is J.K. Rowling's favourite house. So Hufflepuff, you're very good company there. Now in the centre there, we've got Cedric Diggory's costume from the Triwizard Tournament, as worn by Robert Pattinson in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. On the other side of the room, we've got the silver and blue of Ravenclaw. Some Ravenclaws down that side, excellent. Well, over there, we've actually got two ghosts on the left-hand side. On the far left, we've got the Grey Lady, and then in the middle there, we have got Moaning Myrtle Scrobes, the ghost of the girls' bathroom. Now, she was played by Shirley Henderson, who was the oldest actress to ever play a Hogwarts student. Believe it or not, she was 37 years old when she was playing the 14-year-old student. What is her secret? Moving along the hall, Derry asked, do we have any fans of Slytherin? Get out. No, I'm joking, you can all stay. We love all the houses here. And over there with their silver and green house colours in the centre, we've got Tom Felton's costume for Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. And we know it's from the Order of the Phoenix because he's wearing his Inquisitorial squad pin, which you can see his chest just over there. Now last but by no means least, we come to the heroes of our story, and by that, of course, I mean my house, the red and gold of Gryffindor! It's my house, so I'll talk about them all I like. And we cannot talk about this house without talking about the man, the myth, the legend, the reason you've all come here today, Mr. Neville Longbottom, right here with his signature cardigan. Yes, only Neville is brave enough to fight the Dark Lord in knitwear. But no, over here, we've got Harry Potter himself. We've got Harry Potter from the Half-Blood Prince, and then little Harry Potter from the Philosopher's Stone with that tiny hat and, of course, that Gryffindor tie there. Now, he would have been wearing robes very similar to this as he came through those Great Hall doors and along the centre aisle, just like he did today, to be greeted by some of his professors. And I imagine as a young actor, it was pretty intimidating coming up to this side of the room. We had some of Britain's finest acting talent playing some of the biggest characters in the film series. Up here in the centre, we've got Richard Harris's costume for Albus Dumbledore from the Philosopher's Stone, as well as Dame Maggie Smith over here as Professor McGonagall. Now back over this side, we've got Alan Rickman, of course, as Professor Snape. Now what's interesting about his costume is that it barely ever changed throughout the entire film series. The only significant change they ever made was adding an extra bit of cape to the bottom of his robes there. So in that final film, when he shoots out those back windows, just made it all a little bit more dramatic. Now these are some pretty big characters in terms of story, but in terms of size, there's only one man who stands head, shoulders, and in fact beard over everyone else, and that is, of course, Rubeus Hagrid here, the gamekeeper of Hogwarts. Now he was played by Robbie Coltrane, who stands at 6'2", so about Snape's height, not exactly half-giant size. So what they had to do was get in a size double, a 6'10" ex-England rugby player called Martin Bayfield. Now he was pretty tall, but he still wasn't big enough, so they put platforms in his shoes, padding in his costume, and even an animatronic head to make him look exactly like Hagrid, and stand at a whopping 7'6". You'll be able to see this head later on in the tour in our creatures department. It's pretty cool. It can blink its eyes, move its mouth. Tiny bit creepy, but it's there nonetheless. Now I am afraid to say your time in the Great Hall is coming to an end, but a few things before you all head off. Anyone with a digital guide, that's those of you with the green lanyards, your tour starts just out there by the director's board, and you're looking out for numbered icons which are dotted all around the tour. Anyone with a children's passport, which looks just like this. There are 6 stamps to collect as you go through the tour today. Your first one being by Gryffindor Common Room. But as well as this, you are on the hunt for 13 golden snitches, which we've hidden throughout the tour. And that's also nice, and we'll give you a clue for your first one. If you exit through that left archway there and look up, you may very well catch a glimpse of gold. And finally, I'm pleased to announce that halfway through our tour in our back pots, we are serving butterbeer. And we are in one of 4 places in the world to do so, so maybe grab a glass or even an ice cream whilst you're out there if it's hot enough, of course. And if you've got any more questions at all, just approach anyone dressed as handsomely as I am. We're the interactors, we know a lot about the films, and we love to talk. So feel free to come and have a chat. But for now, head up that way and enjoy a behind-the-scenes tour of the most magical